PD Church family, thank you. Why do we need Black history? I was asked that question not so long ago, and I couldn't truly say what I wanted to say. I couldn't say that the end of slavery 158 years ago was not so long ago. I didn't tell them that I could reach back 5 lifetimes of my beloved and touch my enslaved. I couldn't tell them that my body wouldn't let me forget. 3, autoimmune. The doctor says arthritis. But I know when I step in the morning and I get that stiffness in my ankles and my feet, my body remembers a time when we were shackled. The pain in my fingers and my thumbs are connecting to a time when we worked in the cotton fields, doing tobacco and doing indigo. No wonder my favorite color is blue. The doctors have run all the tests that they can, and they can't find the source of my back pain. But I know my back is remembering a time when that whip beat my flesh because we had to run, and because we didn't work hard enough in the fields, or because we held our babies too tight and we knew they were going to be ripped from our arms and sold down the auction block. My body still refuses to learn to swim. My mind knows that when our beloved were on slave ships and they died, they were tossed in the water. My body knows that in the 60s, we were thrown in rivers for trying to register to vote. There's no need for another one of us to be in all that water. Why do we need Black history? We need Black history because when our sons are raging, they need to know that may not be their fault. We need to understand that when he's angry and he can't find the words to explain, and his English is mocked or ridiculed, how can he speak clearly when they stole his mother tongue? He's angry because slavery started right here in the PD area in the 1500s and nobody told him. He's angry because he's been running all his life. Then on the plantation, now on the court or field, that wasn't the case back in the day. The author, Ralph Ellison, let it slip in his novel that there was an envelope being passed that said, "To whom it may concern, keep the inn running." For years, the overseer has been keeping our boys running. Then on the plantation, then from the Viet Cong in a war they didn't ask for and didn't know why they were fighting. And then from contract chain gang, doing contract labor, and now from suits that are meant to protect, but consider him a threat. We need Black history because Grandma said once you get that education, they can't take it away from you. But Grandma, if you up there listening, now they're saying that that education isn't enough and I need a little bit more. And if I go down the road just a little piece, they're going to tell me that I'm overqualified. And I realized that the top of my resume says my name, LaTanya, and it's not something like Charlotte Grace that I was the end running. From Black history, I learned lift every voice and sing, but I know that my song may be different from my sisters, but our struggle still the same. Black history taught me through our song, lift every voice and sing, and that we must continue to march on till victory is won. My common sense lets me know that my march might be to the kitchen to teach a young woman a recipe that our bodies weren't meant to digest. Our march might be to teach a young one to hold a hammer, to build instead of holding a gun, because Jesus said in his words, "Peace, be still." And the world's going to give him Tyler Perry that has Medea telling her still is a peace. That march continues on. Black history showed us to teach one. To reach one is to teach one. Teachers are struggling. She's going to call you and tell you your child is reading below level, but she knows the books in the classroom has characters that don't resemble them. She's going to tell you that the books aren't helping them, but she also knows those textbooks are hiding and covering us up. Most of us think back to our early days when we learned to read. We learned from books that told us about Sally, Dick, and Jane, and Spot. We didn't care about seeing Spot run because we were still running ourselves. We need Black history because nobody is going to love us like we love us. We need to learn about Black history because we learn about people like Oprah and Madam C.J. Walker who built an empire and they learned to chase that bag. We get to learn about people like Booker T. Washington who said, I'll build it, and the learners will come. We get to learn about people like Rosa Parks, who chose not to move and be the movement. We get to learn about people like Marion Wright Elderman from Bennettsville, who were working for our children. We get to learn about Dr. King reminding us to keep going and not be satisfied. We learn about Malcolm X to fight if we need to, and Marcus Garvey, who allowed us to go back to Africa if we wanted to, and Maya Angelou, we learned to be phenomenal and to rise. James Weldon Johnson wrote The Creation, and in that poem, he had God sounding like a brother when he said, "That's good." And in his poem, Lift Every Voice and Sing, we get to learn about Black history. We sing that song in church. My question to you, when you're asked, what song are you singing?